but you're literally flipping the script and recasting your role in your own life. Who are you in this life? Are you the victor or the victim? Hello, fellow trailblazers, and welcome to episode 2 of Write the Outcome. I told you on the first episode that in 1997, I had a huge realization that I had the power to write my own outcomes. Up until then, I kind of let the world have its way with me. Meaning, if things in my world, my external world, were going well, I felt good. And if things in my external world weren't going well, I felt bad. And then I learned these fabulous 3 bullets that I'm going to share with you, that I had control literally in life over only 3 things. 1, where I focused, where I put my energy. Number 2, the story I told, the meaning I assigned to events, AKA, I get to write the outcome. And 3, the actions I take. Whew. Once I learned that, I was off to the races. I told you in my previous podcast that I hadn't read a book for 10 years. And that year I read 33 books. I got my master's degree. My husband, my first husband, got his pilot's license. And you might say to me, Michelle, that's great. This sounds like goal setting. And it is like goal setting, but I want to break it down for you. It's more than goal setting. It is goal setting for each event in your day. Back when I taught time management, we used to define time. How do you even define time? So one of the definitions I love for time is that time is the occurrence of one event following another. Our lives are made up of one event following another. And so where write the outcome comes in, that's different than goal setting. And don't get me wrong, you can use it for goal setting. That's a great use of write the outcome. But you want to apply this to every event in your day. So your life is made up of multiple events. Getting out of bed in the morning is an event. Brushing your teeth is an event. Having your morning coffee is an event. Driving to work, if you still drive to work, that's an event. Having a meeting, going to lunch, literally one event after the other. And what this does is if we call each event a compartment, every time you start a new event, you get to write a new outcome. And this is so powerful because literally you don't have to let one bad event, or maybe you hit traffic on the way in, or maybe something happened in the morning that you didn't want. You don't have to let one event ruin your day. Now, as humans, we're funny creatures. We will wake up in a bad mood and tell people we woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and then we will carry that bad mood for the rest of the day. It's almost like, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So it gives you license to be in a bad mood for the rest of the day. What the heck is that? I used to tell my class participants, get back in bed and get out on the other side. Because the beauty of this compartmentalizing the events is that you can write the outcome for each event. So say you are on your way to work and you get a flat tire. You could say, okay, the flat tire is fixed. Thank God I have the money to fix it. And I am going to have a great rest of my day. You write the outcome literally by managing your beliefs, your thoughts, your focus, and your emotions, because this is what is guiding you. And I said to you on the last podcast, I want you to start connecting your head to your heart. I want you to start asking yourself, not only what do I think about this, but what do I feel about this? And then how do I want to feel about this? Now, don't get me wrong. I got a flat tire recently. I woke up really early. I was in New Jersey. I had a 3-hour ride home, and I thought, oh, if I leave at 4:30 a.m., man, I'm going to boogie on home and I'm going to beat the traffic. So I did beat the traffic. I boogied on home in 2.5 hours. And when I got off the exit to my house, wham, I hit a pothole. Oh my gosh, not a happy camper. The pothole was huge. So again, pull off to the side of the road, call for assistance, and I have to make a decision right then and there. This is definitely taking me off the course of my day, but I get to write the outcome. Remember the 3 things we have control over: where I focus my energy, the story I tell, the outcome I want, and the actions I take. So in the scheme of things, I can remember years ago when I was going through my divorce, when I got a flat tire, I can picture it. I was in the Volvo place and they told me my tire was going to cost me $800. And I could have cried right there at the counter because I did not have $800 to pay for it at the time. So fast forward, using all these tools that I will be sharing with you in this podcast, I still don't want a flat tire. Don't get me wrong. But I get to write the outcome. Now, this is an interesting caveat to the story, which is just coming to me as I'm sharing this with you. I had already booked my car in the next day to get 4 new tires. So evidently I needed tires. Didn't need, to hit a pothole, but I get to write the outcome. I am going to have a good day. I feel like I got a hair in my face, no matter what happens. So research shows, and I said this research has proven that we have 27 emotions an hour. So that's a lot of emoting that we're doing. So with the write the outcome, you're guiding your emotions by guiding your beliefs, your thoughts, and your actions. So let's use another example I'll use an example of my life where I have a lot of emotions. When I get booked to do a new gig in a fun city, my immediate reaction is, woohoo, I'm so excited. So I have a spike in my emotion and I feel great. And then I look at my calendar and maybe I realize that all the work it's going to be, and my emotion dips. So that's another emotion, right, that's happening. And then, I get the work done and I feel good. So my mood peaks up again. Then comes packing day. I don't know about you, but I've never been a good packer. My bag usually has the heavy tag on it. And I don't know, packing light, I think, is overrated. So anyway, now I got to figure out what am I going to wear, what shoes, what's jewelry, blah, blah, blah. I finally get packed. Sigh of relief. My emotions shift again. I feel good. And then comes travel day. Now, travel day before write the outcome always stressed me out. For years, I travel all the time. Yet the morning I wake up to go to the airport, heart racing. What if there's traffic? What if the TSA line is long? What if bop, 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 bop? And I work myself into a tizzy. Now, what I want to show you is that that's habitual thinking. I'm actually plugging into old habits of thought. And I said to myself, I don't want to write this outcome anymore. I want to go to the airport and feel cool and calm. So the old me would get myself out the door in plenty of time, again, feeling a little excited. And then the new me, oh my gosh, traffic. Heart starts racing again, right? So you're watching my emotions go up and down. I finally get to the airport, get rid of the heavy bag. Woo! And now, here it comes. Now I got to stand on the TSA line. Is it called TSA? Yes, I think so. TSA. So again, luckily I have Clear and TSA PreCheck. So now off to the gate, off to the lounge. Now I'm at the gate and I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm group 3. Oh my gosh, my heart starts racing again. What if there's not an overhead bin for my bag? Blah, 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 blah. I get on the plane, there's a bin, and I go. So again, I'm just showing you the roller coaster of our emotions in just one example of getting a gig and then having to pack and get ready and go to the airport. Now, again, I used to be in a bad mood. And then I decided I want to write the outcome for this. So now I tell myself a different story. Because remember, what do I control? Where I focus my energy, the outcome I write, and the actions I take. So my new focus is, you've traveled a lot, Michelle. You've been to many places, and maybe once, maybe twice you missed your plane in 25 years. So the odds are for you. So everything is usually working out for me. No matter what, I figure it out. And I want to be calm, cool, and collected. So again, I tell myself everything always works out. I've done this before. And if those nervous thoughts creep in, I tell myself, that's just old habitual tapes playing. I even use a visual for myself, like an old cassette tape. I remember when I was young and you had an old cassette tape and you loved it so much it would wear out or the tape would break. So I almost imagine this worrisome thought is an old an old cassette tape. And then I'm literally pulling the tape out of the cassette. And I say to the habitual thought, thank you, but we're not entertaining this thought anymore. You've served me. We're creating new thoughts. And I am going to the airport in a cool, calm, collected way. So does this take a little practice? Yes. And that's why we're going to walk through this. So I just gave you the overall picture, but we are going to walk through, write the outcome again, step by step. And today I'm going to share the last 4 steps. If you need a refresher on the first 3, I'm going to talk about them briefly. But if you want to hear more detail, listen to the previous podcast. And the beauty of this and the beauty of sharing it with you is I've been practicing this for so long that most of my life flows pretty easily and freely. There's not a lot of hiccups. And when there are hiccups, I've learned to handle them. I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I have moments like anyone else, but I start experiencing what I call magic carpet days. And a magic carpet day is where every event goes your way, right? The cab driver's in a good mood. There's no traffic. You get through TSA quickly. You get a good seat on the plane. You have a beautiful, interesting person sitting next to you. The flight attendant is witty and funny. Your flight arrives early. You get to your hotel on time. You have a delicious dinner with a glass of wine. So again, this is possible. And it comes from writing the outcome. Now, I'm really excited to share another example of how write the outcome works. And it's just a metaphor, and I call it setting the table. And I love this metaphor because if you think about it, if you are hosting a dinner party with people that you care about, you usually set the table ahead of time. You prepare the menu ahead of time. You maybe get flowers. You possibly put out nice linens and, beautiful tableware. And you're setting the table, assuming that you are going to have a great dinner party, right? You're setting the table before anyone's arrived. You're already assuming it's going to be a great experience. The same theory applies with write the outcome. This is what I call the disciplined mind. A disciplined mind is a mind that is focused where it wants to go, not where it doesn't want to go. So back when I learned this, my gosh, and I started using this in 1997, I was, oh my gosh, what else can I do? I could use it for every event in my day. I wanted to possibly start a business. I had lots of things that I wanted to do. So let's dig into the process a little bit. I'm going to repeat the first 3 steps for you. But I really want to stress here that the key learning here is that successful outcomes aren't a coincidence. They're a creation. I used to say, you don't just show up for the New York City Marathon the day of the race. You prepare for it. And why not prepare for each day? I used to ask a question in my class to my students. I would say, why do you plan your vacations? Why do you take so much time and care to plan a vacation? And they would say to me, because it's important to me, because it's my time, because I want to get the most out of it. And I'm like, isn't your life important? Don't you want to get the most out of it? Isn't it your time? So this write the outcome, the use of write the outcome is you're writing the outcome, not only for the big moments, the goals we talked about, but also for the compartments in your day, the events that go throughout your day. And when you do this, you are focused, you are aligned, and your energy literally ignites a momentum in you. And every step you take turns to success. It's kind of like people will say, oh my God, everything that person touches turns to gold, because they've got the momentum going. And what I love about this is not only have I proven it to myself, but you can prove it to yourself. So that's really where I want to hit this. I could talk all day long, but until you try it on and use it, you won't know it for sure. That's what I call a full body knowing. When you just know something at a cellular level and you know that you are the one that's creating it. So again, I've landed on 7 easy to implement steps. And the first 3 steps were outlined in my previous podcast, but I'm going to go over them right now. The first step is identify where you are and how you feel. If I go to the airport example, I'm feeling anxious, and stressed because there might be traffic. Then write the outcome you want. The outcome I want is I want to travel this world a lot. And if I want to travel, I want to make the whole experience pleasurable. I want to get excited from the minute I start putting pieces in that suitcase to the car ride to the airport, to the flight. I want to enjoy it all. So you see how I'm writing a different outcome than the one I had previously been writing. Step 3 is to reframe any unwanted resistance, because you could tell yourself the new story. You could write your new outcome and then your brain still calls BS on you. Yeah, right, Michelle. I've heard that before. Good luck. Good luck with that one. How's that going for you? So I want you to tune in if there's any resistance, and then really asking yourself, is the resistance real? Is this worrisome thought I'm having real? Or am I making stuff up in my head again? Unless you're bleeding, the building's on fire, or there's some actual emergency, I will guarantee that you're probably making it up in your head. That's good news, because if you're making it up in your head, you have the power to shift it. So most of the population lives their life like I explained how I was living my life many years. If things are going well on the outside, I could feel happy. But if things aren't going well on the outside, I'm not feeling good. But now you know that you can shape each event based on your beliefs, thoughts, expectations, and actions. So I am asking you to suspend some disbelief right now and try it on. Try this on for 30 days and you be the judge, right? I always say I'm looking for the believers. If this works for you, you are going to have so much fun. If it doesn't work for you, look at it a different way, mold it to what you need. You can customize it or just abandon it and try something else. But I guarantee you, if you want this to work and you believe it will work, it will work. So let's go into the last 4 steps. I've identified how I'm feeling and where I am. I've written the new outcome I want, and I've looked at my resistance. Next, I'm going to talk to you about what I call the ladder up technique. And the ladder up technique is about taking your emotions, and I want you to imagine you're going up an imaginary ladder. So if you were up on a really high building and you had to climb a ladder, you would be very careful, probably one hand, one foot, one rung at a time, right? You would be slow but steady. That's how I want you to use your emotions. I want you to think of the emotion you're feeling. And the example I gave was I was feeling overwhelmed at going to the airport. And I can see, as I mentioned, that this is a habitual thought pattern that I create on travel days. It's not real. It's something that I create. I plug back into it, and it's not my feeling isn't related to what's going on. So for this reason, I choose to write the new outcome. So what's one thought that's going to make me feel better? Now, I kind of walked you through this earlier, but let's do it again. Feeling overwhelmed, I have to go to the airport. Michelle, you're always on top of things. You are the best packer. Well, maybe not the best packer, but you're packed ahead of time. Let's go there. I always packed ahead of time. I always get out the door on time. So instead of feeling stuck, I am overcoming this challenge by trusting that I have done everything in my power to write the outcome and to get myself out the door. So once I feel a little better, right, I'm literally talking myself. So if I'm overwhelmed, I could say, I'm overwhelmed. I have to go to the airport. I'm angry that I keep feeling this. Why am I always beating myself up? Honestly, I'm not really angry. I'm just frustrated. Well, am I really frustrated? I'm just a little disappointed because, hello, you teach this stuff. You should be better at applying it to your own life. But honestly, I'm okay. If you could get to feeling okay, again, I'm one rung of the ladder at a time. And I hope you feel the difference in your own energy as we talk about this, right? So the feeling of overwhelm has low energy, right? But a feeling of angry has a little more energy. And then a feeling of disappointment, disappointment feels a little better. There's a little relief in disappointment. And then if I could get to contentment, a lot more relief and contentment. So the ladder up technique is meant to help you step your emotions up one emotion at a time. This is really important. And it's the key to most things. Most people want to go from feeling bad to feeling good in one fell swoop. And that doesn't work. I mean, that's why we drink, while we drug, while we shop, any addictive activity we do, because we want to go from feeling bad to feeling great instead of saying, I just want to feel a little bit better. I just want to feel a little bit relief in my body. And that's where the ladder up. Picture yourself climbing that ladder, one rung at a time until you get to a place where you could take an exhale. So that's step 4. Step 4 is use the ladder up technique. Step 5 is flip the script and recast your role. Now, I'm a big believer in journaling. And if you could whip out a journal and write, this is what you want. I mean, you can't do that in every event or every compartment of every day, but you can do it in general terms the night before you go to sleep or even the morning when you wake up. I'm planning on having a good day today. I'm planning that everywhere I go, people will be friendly and helpful. And I'm going to meet interesting people and I'm going to have fun and I'm going to see the birds and the blue sky. I mean, it's your journal. You can write what you want, but you're literally flipping the script and recasting your role in your own life. Who are you in this life? Are you the victor or the victim? So journaling is powerful. And it's something you could do whenever you get the chance. And the science behind journaling is it activates 5 senses or 4 senses. You are kinesthetically writing. You are saying what you're writing. So you're hearing it and you're seeing it. So it really helps you focus. Remember, focus is a big part of write the outcome. So you can even write in your journal, I used to feel stressed and overwhelmed on travel days, but now I feel okay. I might not be bouncing off the wall happy, but I'm not stressed either. I'm confident, I'm steady, and I know that I'll handle whatever happens. So journaling is one way. Visualizing is another. Again, before a travel day, you could before any day, you could visualize the night before. Visualization works really well right before you go to sleep. Close your eyes and just picture yourself doing what you want to do the next day. Visualize yourself handling challenges. Visualize yourself being brilliant. Visualize yourself overcoming what comes at you. And the other thing you could do is just talk to yourself. I used to say in my class, how many people here talk to themselves? And there's always, most of the hands in the room would go up, but there'd always be one or two people that didn't raise their hand. And they were like, talk to myself? I don't talk to myself. So we're all talking to ourselves. So again, journaling is one way to flip the script and recast your role. Who are you? Talk about who you want to be and where you're going. Visualizing the outcome, and then talking your outcome to yourself. I got this. I can do hard things. I can overcome every challenge that comes my way. I have overcome every challenge that's come my way. I step into my power by acknowledging that I own my thought process. That's really big right there. I always say, nobody's in your head but you. I'm the boss of me. You're the boss of you. You get to be the mastermind, the one who has mastered their mind. So the more detail you can write your outcome, the better. And again, if you're just loving it and you feel really good, it's really fun to get into the juicy details of your life. But if you're not feeling it yet, stay very broad. I'm trying this out. I believe I'll have success. I want this to work. So again, but if I'm really in it, it's like, wow, I'm having so much fun with the Uber driver to the flight attendant to my clients are loving me. Everybody's shaking their head and agreeing with what I'm saying. And you're literally writing the outcome. So you could write it down. You could visualize it. You could say it to yourself. And then you really embody this new role because everything starts with a thought. Your thoughts and beliefs determine your actions. So if you want better outcomes, you can write better outcomes. I mean, even if you just wanted to make chicken for dinner, it's a thought first. I think I want chicken for dinner. And then you walk yourself to the kitchen and you make chicken for dinner. So the thoughts are the things we're working on, and we want our thoughts, our beliefs to manifest into the actions and emotions we want. Step 6 is to take aligned action. So if I'm telling myself that I want an easy, trip, I could say I'm packed. I'm always prepared. I'm always packed. I'm always ready to go the day before. I could choose to listen to an uplifting podcast, an inspirational book on Audible, or some really good music or some relaxing music while I'm driving in. I can catch any negative thoughts early. Again, that's really important. If you could catch your negative thoughts early, for example, what if I hit traffic? What if I'm actually driving to the airport and there's a legit traffic? The negativity, the emotion starts, triggering, the emotional hijacking starts coming. And then I have to say to myself, Michelle, you left yourself ample time to get to the airport. You'll be fine. So that's step 6. Step 7 is, again, mastering the intentional mindset. So what is one belief that will support your new write the outcome? And the new belief is, I can do this. I can be steady on travel days. I love to travel, and therefore I commit to feeling good in each step of the process. So that's the deal. So those are the last 4 steps. Use the ladder up technique, one emotion at a time. Flip the script and recast your role, and take aligned action, and then master your mindset. So let me just read all 7. We'll do a recap here before we end. Step 1, identify where you are and how you feel. Step 2, write the outcome you want. Step 3, reframe any unwanted resistance. Step 4, use the ladder up technique. Step 5, flip the script and recast your role. Step 6, take aligned action. And step 7, master the intentional mindset. That feels good. I hope this was helpful. Every week, I am going to give you new tips and tools that you need to help you get to your goals by writing your outcome, not only for long-term goals, but for every event in your day. And I am also excited to be interviewing world-class folks that have used this method to create success in their own life. So thank you for now, and This is Michelle Phillips telling you to make it a great day.